Alright, so this is part two for the new project, the Spooky Forest project involving tracking and rotoscoping. So in this one, we're gonna do the tracking. Wow, why is it so slow? Alright. Alright, so here we are where I left off. And we're gonna track using After Effects, its native tracker, rather than Mocha also has its own tracking tools, stuff like that. But for in this case, we're going to use After Effects and its native tracker. Yeah, I just have my reasons. It's more simplified and whatnot. Yeah. So I'm gonna grab my original footage. Okay. Not this guy, not the roto footage. Okay, not the cutout. This one. So hopefully you have everything named. So this guy right there, and I'm gonna right click on it. Okay, track and stabilize. Track motion. Okay, I believe it is under, was it layer? Right. So if you don't have the right mouse button, which you should by now, if you don't have it, it should be animation track motion. Okay, right click and track and stabilize track motion. So when that happens, automatically you see something happen to the screen. Well, it sent you to its own layer, its own preview layer. Remember I talked about that? Because previously it was on the composition, and students would get kind of confused at times because they would double click on the layer and it will pop this up and you see all this different stuff going on. Well, it sent you to here, to its own layer, because when you activated the track motion tool set feature, this is what it does. And if you look closely, you'll have here track point 1, and I'm gonna zoom in as much as I can, around 200%. You'll see that use this little gadget. What is this? Where inside of here is where After Effects will track a particular shape, color, contrast of your footage, and it'll lock onto it like a target lock and follow it, long as the image that is tracking is visible and not flying through like going crazy. So how do I show this? Well, I'm gonna pan for a bit. I'm gonna choose, before in the class I chose this feature right here, but this time around I'm gonna choose this feature because it's closer to the eye level, midline, where I want to reveal the title versus way up here. So I want to give a different look or a different approach, but same thing. So again, track point, it's kind of small, so you can also resize this. So if I click on it, you see this little dot 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 dot. Well, I'm gonna resize the larger dot only because I want to be able to grab it easy. See? And the way you grab it is you don't grab the edges or the frame, you grab inside like that. Again, like that. I'll just grab it like here. Okay, like that. Move it over, pan, right here. And you see how it's amplified, magnified? That means that this X right here is pinpointing and looking here. See? And that's where the software is dictating where to look at. to look for this. But I think it's kind of small, so I'm just going to expand things out like so. Maybe go like that. Maybe do some of that. Maybe do that and do that. So from what I know and what I've learned, and what I learned over the course of a couple of years, several years, is that this outside is like a broad view of what it looks for. Inside of here is like the precise view of what it's gonna look for, like that. So I'm gonna do that. Again, the reason why is I'm looking for an area where it's like the midline and it has pretty good contrast. You know, it's small, but it has good contrast, meaning from this area to here, a nice chunk of area to kind of differentiate like that. This is what it'll look for. And it's literally going to target that. And you see the movement of it, which I'll do real soon. And from here, from the starting point, I'm going to zoom out for a bit so you can see. And I'm going to press analyze, okay, analyze forward. So it's doing its thing, just leave it alone. And everything else should be more or less like this. Just position is good enough, it's fine. So all we did was press forward on the analyze. I believe it was this one I pressed. So as you can see, it's all in green. So it's processing. Okay, now it's processed everything. And I zoom in, you'll notice all these dots. So it was tracking. Oh, it's gone. The little twig line is gone. I didn't think it would be gone. Anyway, so it's tracking all of this. So I'll go back in time, in this timeline, the layer, you know, preview timeline, specifically for the tracking. I'm gonna zoom in some more. See right here, I'm at the beginning. I'll scrub. Okay, you see this little plus sign right there, that dot? Well, that's the actual, at that moment in time where it's tracking that little offshoot of the bark tearing off. Okay, this is far how close I can get to. So I'm gonna go forward. There it is again. Again. See, each one is locked onto that target. Long as whatever you're trying to target is visible and not running off, or you know, the camera turning or the subject turning, it should be able to lock onto it. So it's locking on pretty good. See, I'm scrubbing forward in time. It's locking on. I'm gonna move forward and target lock. It's following. Okay. Oh, come on. And at a certain point, this happens. Well, understandably, because the twig, right, it disappears off of the point of view. So I'm going forward and forward, and then from here, watch, pop. This is where this thing will jump. See, jumped, because actually, you know what? It's still here. You can still target it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna manually, and this is probably good to learn anyway, you can manually reset it down here. So all this stuff, I'm gonna grab inside, right? See that? Right there inside, like that. I'm gonna just manually just yank it and shove it right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna go forward in time, which is was it control or was it command on the Mac, and right arrow. Okay, to scrub forward. I taught you guys that before, so just go ahead and do that. And then scrub forward again. So I'm going backwards. So I'm going forward again. Okay, I'm looking at that, looking at that. I'm just trying to fix it. Forward, forward. So now they're kind of overlapping, so just gotta bear with me. I'm just dealing with it. There it is, and the last one right here. So that. Going back, 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 back. Maybe right here. And then back, maybe right there. And then back, maybe right there. And back, maybe right there. So more or less I'm just aligning things like that, you know? Just real rough. Back, back, back. This one I'll put it like that. So I did all of that, right? I manually tuned it, the motion, its path, its motion path. So I did that, and I'm gonna zoom out a bit. So I'm gonna click outside. There's nothing to save. It's literally manually setting it. Then I'm gonna close. I'm gonna not close it, but I'm gonna go back to the main comp. Okay. So here I was before, and in this specific layer, right? See the layer, name, and I'm on the tracking part, right? I'm still here. The tracking point tool is still active, but I'm gonna just temporarily go back to my composition, okay? Temporarily go back there because I need to make my text. So for now, I'm gonna right click, new, text. I made a new text. The size is 440 because I did this already, and I want it large. And I chose Century School Book text. So you choose text to use on your own. And I'm gonna type in, shoot, I lost it. Double click on it. Double click, and all caps, the forest. Okay, and I'm gonna zoom in. Oh wait. See, this is what happens when the cursor is live and active. You know, I can't manipulate and pan around the working area, so I just gotta get out of it. Spacebar, move it. See, I have to get out of that text creation tool set. Anyway, so I made that. The only other thing I want to do is, again, I need to move the anchor point. You see that anchor point I taught you guys? I want to put it here. The reason why is the text, as you saw in the preview, it went from right to left, going this way. If this was the stage, it went from stage right to the center of the stage. So if the handle is here, because this is where the handle is going to be led, like pulling on a string, well, yeah, should I do it like that? You know what? This should be fine. Long as your anchor point is here. Okay? Yeah. I was going to put it over here, but over here is fine as well. If it's anywhere else, that's not good. If it's like here at the bottom, whatever, you need to make it live, right? Also pressing the Y key And then you can grab it, and you want to have snapping on. You want to just snap it, like, I don't know, like right here, right on there. So just snapped. And from there, I'm done with that. So I'm gonna get out of the tool, V, and then uncheck snapping, because if you have snapping turned on, it'll snap to all over the place. So I did that. For point of animation, it's gonna yank from here. Alright, so now I want to go back to the tracking layer, which is over here, right? Remember the tracking layer up here? Spacebar to pan, zoom in. Now, since I'm on this layer, not the composition, but this layer again, I want to pull up my tracker, okay? Oh look, it disappeared. So don't panic. I'm just gonna click on the layer again, and everything is not grayed out again. See, it's live. So we're back. Just the double checking. Got here Misty Autumn motion, source of our motion, right? It's got that. And tracker one, position, all that's still good to go. I have this selected, right? From here, I'm gonna go. I already analyzed the tracking. You see that? Now I'm gonna edit target. So what does it mean, edit target? Basically, it's asking you, what do you want to grab to place it on this tracking motion? See this tracking? What do you want to grab to just grab and shove it here? Well, you click on it. Motion target. So, simple English, it's asking you, what do you want to put on? I want to use my text. My text was called The Forest. Okay. And I hit OK. And it looks like that should be good, right? But no, you have to do a little bit more. After that, right, maybe did the edit target, right? And I chose the forest, yeah. Well, I gotta hit apply. When you hit apply, you think it would be done, but it's not. It has some asking you some more stuff. Apply dimensions, X and Y, or it gives you specifically, which other options you have. Just X and Y, default is fine. Hit OK. Alright, so I did that. But it's way over here. Okay. Alright. And the tree isn't blocking it. See? It's not blocking it like how it should, right? Well, if we remember our layer system setup, the topmost layer takes priority, right? So all you do is just grab it and you just sandwich it in between. So now our roto tree, the cutout, is on top, because it's literally, the layer is on top of the forest layer. Now it gives the illusion that the text is within this shot behind this tree. See? And if I pan, you'll see that soft little mask going on. And if I play it, let me save it. I'm gonna name it Spooky Forest Tutorial. Right. So, named it. Now let's play it. I have full resolution. As you can see, it's like that. And it looks like it's literally there, right? See? But Now we're gonna fix this part where it's just stuck there, right? Because the reason why it's stuck there, come on, see, why is it, please don't crash. Alright, give me a moment. Alright, so the reason why our text is way over here, okay, is that our tracker is currently oh, I can't show the tracker, but so the tracker, remember how it's locked on here, right? Since our tracker was locked on there, well, the forest text is also locked onto there. You know, see like that? See that? Perfect example. Remember when we did the tracking? And now we want to reposition the text. Well, if I have my text here, I press P. Well, our position is all keyframed. So what happened was that the forest, right? And you see these keyframes. These are the keyframes that the tracker made. Remember we saw that lines? Well, those are all keyframes. So what our After Effects did was it took all that information and it gave it to the text, and in terms of its position, and now it's following it. But how do we move our text position if it's all keyframed, right? Before, in other projects it was empty and you could set keyframes and, you know, or movement, but now we can't. So what do we do, right? Our position's all filled up. We can't literally go in and move it. If you move it, the tracking is lost, where it looks like it's embedded in the scene. You'll lose that. So we had to learn something new. It's called a null, N-U-L-L. It's not too bad. Right click, new, null object. So this is a null object. It's not literally an object. It's in the world of 3D and After Effects, it's basically an empty group, an empty thing. It does not render. You won't see this when you make your animation movie. You will not see this, you know, but it's used as a tool. It's used as a container. It's used as a offset animation. Offset meaning if you have something like this that already has animation in it, data, movement, well, you could have a separate container to control him, you know, so you'll have him control him. So this odd thing, this odd looking thing called a null, will now control him because he already has animation on it. So we can't do anything to him, but we can do something to him and his position so that to manipulate him. So he will be dragging him along, even though he has motion on him. You'll see. So first thing what I want to do is with my null, I want to place my, oh man, this is what I mean by it. I'm gonna lock that. Stop doing that, man. Seriously. I'm gonna grab my null, right? And I want to place my null over here, right? I want to place my null over here because over here is where the tracking began. So I kind of more or less align it. So I'm going to literally just grab it, right? I have V as in Victor, move tool on. So ignore this box. This is not a tracker. It's just, it's generic looking container. And I'm looking at this point right here. I'm just gonna put it right around here. This is where it literally was tracked. And this is not a repeat, not a tracker, it's just a real generic way of just repositioning my null to where this guy is in terms of tracking. So I did that. Now I need to have him, which already has animation, to follow him, our null that you just learned about. The way you do that is something called a pick and whip. You learned this in the previous tutorial when we did the other animations, making the mask follow the initials, remember? So you get the little swirly thing on the forest, not on him, on the forest. So the child, this is going to be the child, this is going to be the parent. The child will follow the parent. So you select the child, you get the pick whip, and you link it to the null. Right? So again, the order operation is child, then the parent. Get the child, get its swirly thing, move it, target it to the parent. Right? So even here it says parent and link. The forest is linked to the null 1. Okay? So when I move in time, again, nothing happens. Even the null, nothing happens. The null does not have any tracking, right? So it's just there. And what I'm going to do is that, let's say, right around here, I'm going to press P, and if I move it, right, good. So as you can see, I'm moving it on the X column, right? So you could move it like that, okay? It's not perfect, right? So you can position it like that, and when you play it, it does that. Okay, and oh, so now you see the null, and then from here, right? One second, my computer's slow. As you can see, the null is over here, right? And then it's gonna also move again, most likely. Come on. Right. God, this is slow. So don't worry about that. It has to do with like offsets, where the animation began compared to where the null is, because the null is static and not moving. It's not linked. It's not tracked, you know. So it gives the illusion that something is broken. But we will be able to animate this because I've done it. You know what? Might as well just show it. So from here, but then again, yeah, I'll just show it. The null, we're at frame beginning, right? I'm gonna grab and I'm gonna pull it over here, okay, from the beginning, like that. And as you can see through it. And then I'm gonna go forward 30 frames. So I'll just count, you know. I know that some students have a small keyboard, others will have the large keyboard. so I can't do the page up or page down hotkey. I'm just gonna manually do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So that was 30 frames. And then I'm gonna place a keyframe. Oh, I forgot to place a keyframe at the beginning. And let me go back. I'm gonna place a keyframe here. Okay, so that's 30 frames. And from here to here, okay, I'm gonna click on that and I'm gonna move it forward. And you see the movement happening? Okay, so from here to here. Now let's play it. Maybe it's a bit too fast. I'll go here, give it some more. I don't know how much that was, but I just shoved it. Much slower. And you notice, like I mentioned at the beginning, this, where you can see it, it doesn't give much of an impact because it already gives away the illusion that something's here, you know. You don't get that anticipation because when you first view it, you already see something's here, so the audience already knows, hey, the gig's up, something's gonna reveal, you know. That's why I had it hidden using a mask, and that's why it's good to show this. So from here, right, you already see it. See, even when it's passing through the tree, you know, it doesn't really wow you, right? So, but regardless, I want to put the animation just to seal something in. So we made this and this, right? Keyframe here and here, right? And then I went back and pulled it back. Remember? So I'm gonna grab this set. I'm gonna pull it forward, grab it. Jesus, grab it. And I'm gonna just carefully yank it forward in time. The reason why is that I'm giving it this buffer of no movement, but you see it here, right? And then from here, it's gonna come in. Just ignore this for now. Okay, see? I'm just giving some buffer time. So when this review, when the shot opens, then he comes in. All right. So this will be your homework. I'll just cut it short here at 30 minutes. And in class, we will go over the masking part. Okay. In class, I don't want to do it now and then make you watch 2 hours of tutorials. And yeah, because that was already an hour and a half. So there. And then we'll finalize by putting the mask, and you see how much difference it makes when you put that mask over here. And yeah, so that'll be it. So today you learned about tracking. You also learned a little bit extra with the null, which was necessary anyway, and animating it. Alright, and I'm gonna post this now, and I'm gonna make the announcement on the classroom board. Alright, that's it. Good luck. Bye.